The Rob and Jasmine saga continues. But as you can see here, Jasmine came up by saying, "Go give your excuses to Satan in hell, where I wish you burn for eternity. You wish harm upon my unborn baby and keep cursing an innocent baby for more than 12 hours for 2 consecutive days. I hope you catch a new type of herpes every time you do BJ 2 men for $500. Cheap as F. Nasty knob." Damn. Things are definitely getting intense. Jasmine is definitely taking things to another level. And she's making it abundantly clear that she is not happy with Rob's actions, and she will say whatever she wants to say to make sure that he understands how much she just doesn't like him. But she also came out by saying this as well. "The fact that you were recently texting close friends of mine to continue harassing me and threatening me is absolutely disgusting. Leave me alone and my baby alone. I've never seen someone this obsessed with with other people's lives." I mean, to be honest with you, the matter of the fact is now we are hearing her talking about how Rob is messaging people close to her and saying that he has made harassments as well as threats. Okay, the only issue that I have is that we need evidence of this, because we know that Jasmine isn't happy with Rob, so she could easily type anything just to call him out and not actually drop any receipts, and therefore it's just a matter of he say, she say. So for her to say that this is what's been happening, it's crucial that she drops 2 receipts. She doesn't have to identify which close friends that Rob has been speaking to ask the public. Of course, Rob would figure out himself, but obviously you'd see them being exposed. But either way, if you're gonna come through with accusations of harassment as well as threatening, in my opinion, you should definitely come with a form of evidence, so therefore we know you're telling the truth, especially when there's a lot of people who don't actually always believe what Jasmine has to say. And to be fair, respectfully, it's for obvious reasons. Why? Because she's never been consistent with the truth, and she's never been consistent with kindness, so people will always question her intentions. And to be honest with you, it doesn't help with the fact that she left Gino pretty much way too soon after she'd finally come to America and got that green card. But Rob had something to say, and this is what Rob had to say here. As you can see, he wasted no time with the response, where he came up by saying, "I'll be honest, I'm not proud of the verbiage I use upon Jasmine. This is not an apology. My apologies. I just have to do better for me and the standard I'm trying to live up to every day. But everyone is comfortable with certain things, and to them, I'm sorry if I'm offensive. My ache for literalism or impartiality has gotten me in trouble plenty of times before, and checking myself can get thoroughly tested. But I forgot that people are watching, and it's bigger than whether or not I could care less about telling a terrible person about themselves. Strap in for this terror. I'm sure those who dislike me will have their days. Will have their days. And at the end of it all, at least God knows my heart." I mean, listen, to be honest with you, this is the issue here at hand. I'll say with Rob. How many times is he going to say that I live to improve every day? I mean, listen, the fact that he comes in with the statement itself in particular of that, the everyday stand I'm trying to live up to, I just have to do better for me. I mean, I'm curious, well, when is that going to be put into place? Because for the longest time possible, Rob has shown us nothing but immaturity on his behalf. He's never really shown us an ounce of maturity when it comes to him. I mean, listen, he said to do better for himself. So why is it taking him this long? 35 years of age, I believe. Okay. And maturity has never been his friend. Obviously, calling people out for their own relationships has definitely been a skill of his own, but calling himself out for his own actions, for the way he reacts to people, the way he treats people, says a lot. And to be honest with you, given the fact that Sophie once upon a time, as well as her mother, did expose videos of Rob being verbally abusive towards Sophie, obviously him coming out on social media and saying whatever he's going to say definitely does not help. To be fair though, I'm unsure what he actually said, because we made a video yesterday based on a specific post that he had mentioned, but in that post in particular that he had spoken about, I wouldn't say that post itself necessarily had anything that implied a form of harassing or threatening. But of course, he's now coming out with an apology saying that, hey, I'm now looking to do better in terms of how I conduct myself. you know, which is good. It's good that he's taking that reflection. But for me, there's a lot of people who say they're gonna do something and they never do. So I hope that this reflection that he has made, his self-evaluation he's made in himself, I hope it's one that he's actually going to take seriously, and it's not one of those things where he's come out just to make a statement to the public just so he can continue having people like him. Because obviously right now there are a lot of people who never liked Rob who are now starting to like him purely because he called out Jasmine at the table for a lot of the BS that she said on October, which respectfully completely get it. Completely get it, but at the same time, people should never forget why they dislike Rob in the first place, because this guy is no saint. And for me personally, do I believe that he's going to have the ability to stick to what he's saying here about how he's going to do better moving forward? No, absolutely not. And you know why? Because he says that this is not an apology. Now here's the thing, fair enough, Jasmine done her own dirty towards him, which again is not excusable, so therefore an apology is also needed on her behalf as well. But just because Jasmine is maybe the one in his eyes doing the worst and he's not doing as bad as her, it doesn't mean he shouldn't apologize. In life, if you want to lead by example, or in life, if you want to live this everyday life of you doing better, like he said, of him becoming better for himself and changing the standard of himself, well, he needs to be able to say, you know what, even when somebody crossed the line with me, if I cross the line with them, I'm still going to apologize even if they don't give me one. That's the first step of trying to actually fix that. And then obviously after that, you progress to the step where even when someone is mean to you, you learn to not always have to react. You learn to just not even not say anything, or to react in the most cordial way possible that says that you are a very respectful person who will not lower your standards to someone else's foolery. You see what I'm saying? So for me personally, if he cannot say that he at least apologizes for conducting himself the way he has, that is nasty work. Because hey, Mr. Tough Guy, you ain't tough just because you're saying you don't want to apologize. That doesn't make you tough, nor does it say that you're really trying to hold yourself accountable for your doing in this ridiculous rivalry that him and Jasmine has. But furthermore, the thing that I still will say I find the most disappointing about it is the fact that Jasmine is a pregnant woman and she's allowing herself to be in situations where she's arguing with another grown-ass freaking man, when in reality all she should be doing is focus on just keeping herself mentally as healthy as possible as well as physically, so therefore when her baby comes, a baby potentially has a better chance of being delivered and also coming out obviously, you know, with the least problems as possible. Because people forget, when you are a woman and you cause stress to yourself while pregnant, that can definitely cause anything, you know, negative that could potentially happen. Usually to try and avoid those things, you know, usually you would do your best to, you know, stay away from complications, stay away from anything that you shouldn't be putting in your body. And then listen, the list goes on. You know, I'm sure you ladies know by now anyway. But it is quite embarrassing, to be fair, isn't it, now that we've got a man who's out here talking whatever about a pregnant woman, and then we got a pregnant woman out here talking whatever she's talking about a dude that isn't even hers. And this is the funny thing, Rob and Sophie aren't even friends. Like, they don't even live in the same state. Like, they're acting as if like they're gonna see each other ever again. Like, they only see each other when they go on the show. The fact that they're both taking this so personally is actually wild, because like, again, these two are never in each other's radius, so it is very weird. Like, they both need to grow the F up. But nonetheless though, let me know your thoughts down below and we'll talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.